Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode 8 of the Cube Stuff Saturdays podcast. I'm your host, Max Chan, or MC Stuff, and joining me today is Carson Widjaja and David Su. So thank you both for coming on the show today.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, thanks.
Alright, so like I always say, before we get into this conversation, I just wanted to say that if you'd like to be on the show in the future, like Carson and David are, then you can join my Discord in the link in the description down below. Alright, so the way this is going to work is I'm going to ask them some basic questions so the viewers get to know them a little bit better. Then after, we're going to have a conversation about the topic of this podcast, which is like the future of cubing and just things in the future like that. And before I forget, we have a show notes document where I'll put any links in the description that we mentioned in this show today. So now on to the questions I have for you guys. The first general one I have is, how long have you both been cubing and how did you get into cubing?
Um, I got into cubing because my friend in school was cubing with some Cyclone Boys cube, and yeah. But I actually saw my brother cube in 2015, but then in 2016 I tried to learn, but then I quit, and then same thing with 2017, and then it was finally 2018 where I decided to learn, and I've been cubing for 2 years, I think.
Uh, Mine's kind of similar with Carson's. I learned from school, or I got into it from school, and I kind of took off from there. And I've been cubing for. I have a 2017 ID, but I've been cubing for 2 years. Uh, uh, I took a 1 year break in between.
Okay, nice. So you both started cubing around like the 2017, 2018 area,
I
right?
started in fourth grade, which was I think it was March of 2018, I'd say, where I actually started cubing. But I think around June was when I started trying to get serious, and I actually bought good cubes. So yeah.
Yeah. All right. So mine is sort of similar, I guess. I learned out of summer camp. I say this in every single one. Yeah, I started in 2015 of August, I believe. That's when I learned how to solve it around there, August, September. Then I went to my first comp in November of 2015. Yeah. All right. So the second general question I have for you guys is, who do you think will take over the cubing scene this decade in terms of speed and in terms of content creation? You can say both or one or the other.
David, you can go first.
Oh, I was gonna have you go first. Okay.
David,
Do you want me to go?
yes.
Okay. Well, I think there has to be a new generation coming up for cubing because like Felix and Max, even though they're taking over right now, uh like at some point they have to slow down, I guess. So probably Max Xiao. Uh, who else?
You can't forget Leo.
Oh yeah, Leo. I forgot about Leo. And Brenton Wong and Sean Villanueva. I think are gonna take over probably for 3x3 at least.
Yeah, and like Timo and Koloshinsky too.
Yeah.
I think Madi Hiroto Inaba will also take
Oh
over.
yeah.
He's really good. It's just sad that he lives in Hawaii. But yeah, I agree with you, David. Um, Max and Felix, although they're really good, I feel like younger people will take over since they have more time. I feel like Timon will take over, but not for a long time because Timon is quite he's 15ish, so once he goes to college, I feel like his era will be over. But I feel like Leo, Maddie, Brenton, Sean, like all the young people like Max, Asher, they will still have some time to get better.
Yeah, like they said, I think I heard this once, like people, cubers hit their peak around like age 15 or so, right?
Yeah.
In terms of
Yeah.
speed and all that. Yeah. So what about content creation? What do you guys think about that?
Ooh, that's quite hard. So I think not easy cubing.
Easy cubing.
Cu- cu- cu-
Cubing encoded?
Cubing encoded is actually taking over right now, but I feel like he's probably gonna his channel is probably gonna die soon. Um, and also Cubics. like his channel is good right now, but if he didn't take a break from YouTube, he would have more subscribers. And I feel like now like his channel's gonna like die in a few years because um he's not really in the age of um usual like normal content creators. Um but I'm not like really sure who will like take over with like content creation. Maybe Maxwell Chan, but I'm not sure.
I don't know about that. But yeah, last week actually Samir and I were talking about cubing and coded. Like, you know how he like posts daily and all that?
Yeah.
Yeah. We were just talking about that. Like, we feel like he doesn't put as much effort, and it takes him like only like half an hour to edit his videos and all that. Like, he reuses the same intro. Like, oh, subscribe to my channel because I'm doing $100 SpeedCube Shop giveaway or something like that.
It's kind of
Um,
like Cube Self Hero, where he was when he was at like 20K subs and he was like trying to get people to sub to him for to get him to 100K.
Keep Self
yeah.
Hero is like a fodder now. But like I think Cubing and Coded, he makes like really short videos and maybe he might get a lot of views from them, but I feel like he should put more effort. I definitely agree because like he his videos are quite short and like it's not super entertaining like that. And all he does is like TikTok tries and stuff like that.
Yeah, it's like reaction videos or like cubing Reddit and all that. I don't know. I don't really watch his content too much. I just pop in here and there sometimes. But yeah, I guess it's kind of unique because he's doing something that not many people can do, posting like daily, but at the same time, it doesn't take much effort to do it.
And sometimes he doesn't post daily. Like there are like a few times where he posted like once a week and then he was like I post daily. But I also think Ting Man could possibly take over a bit because his job is like kind of editing. I think his job is like wedding photography and editing.
I thought he was a
So
science teacher. No.
what? I'm not very sure, but like all his past videos before cubing were just like wedding videos. So I think that like Ting Man has good editing. I'm not sure if he's a science teacher. I might be wrong, but I feel like maybe Ting Man could take over for a bit because like I don't know, he's just really skillful at it. But Keep Self Hero, I feel like he's gonna run out of time to make videos like the videos that he usually makes.
Yeah, but in my opinion, honestly, it's quite impressive how Cube Self Hero and Tingman both are able to make videos because they're both like parents and all that. It's like
I
difficult
know.
to manage, yeah, their families and all that. But yeah, Tingman, I think he's like a photographer or something. Wait, not maybe like a filmmaker. I don't know
Yeah,
because his quality is really really good in his videos.
Yeah.
and also yeah, like his past videos were all like wedding photography things, like films. So that's like I'm not really like sure about that. But yeah, his videos are really high quality.
Yeah. All right. So thank you guys for your opinions on that. The third question, general question I have for you is: can you tell the audience two interesting facts about yourself? One of them is going to be cubing related, and one of them is going to be non-cubing related that you think nobody knows about you.
David.
That's tough. Wait, I need time to think about it.
Oh, okay. So, for me, I okay. People probably already know that I'm addicted to 3x3. So I'm not like highly sure about that. Maybe that I used to main a Toys R Us cube, but that wasn't like when I was speed cubing, and like I'm not like highly sure, but people might not know that like I like basketball and uh yeah, that's it. I don't really have any interesting facts about cubing. Uh so yeah.
Yeah. Well, that Toys R Us cube. Did you get that at like the store or something? And then Is that in the beginning of your career,
So it
cubing
was at
career?
the beginning of my cubing career. It was literally when Toys R Us was closing down. It was like the last day, and we went inside and found a cube, and then just paid for it because I thought white cubes looked nice, and I was really wrong about that. Um, oh, I have a cubing fact. My WCA birthday was the other day. I think it was like Wednesday. 2 years of competing, and I sang happy birthday, and I posted it on YouTube.
That's cool. Nice. Yeah. I mean, I guess competing like that can be a milestone. I guess competing for 2 years. But yeah. Oh yeah. On that same note about like the Toys R Us cube, I just wanted to like mention, was that like a Duncan cube or something that you got?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. I think I got that one too. I was trying to sell it at like Princeton because I don't really
Oh,
need it, honestly. All right, but David, did you think of anything?
Uh, this is if you look at my WCID, then I guess it's not really like not many people know about. But I suck at Scube, and I don't practice Scube, and Scube is the worst event. Sorry, Tyler.
I agree with you.
Yeah. And an interesting fact, I feel like a lot of people know this already, but like only my close friends, I guess. But I'm like decently good at tennis. That kind of sounded
Yes,
like
you're really good.
arrogant,
What are you talking
but
about?
like, uh, yeah.
Yeah, that's a good fact. I mean, a lot of cubers play sports. Tennis is unique also. Like we had Ben Edwards, I believe, and Will Harris come on. They were both cross country runners, I think. So it's good to have a variety and all
I
that.
mean, I used to play tennis, but I quit this year. But
Oof.
I tennis is quite fun because it's just like 1v1, and it's just enjoyable because I feel like it's somewhat of a calm sport until like you go against someone and you're making the sounds like
Yeah, like grunting when you hit or something.
yeah,
I don't know. But yeah, I mean, it's a good sport. I mean, it works during this time especially because you're kind of social distance, I guess.
yeah,
Other
and
than
you
like,
touch
Yeah.
yeah,
people.
yeah, you don't really come in contact with people as in like soccer, basketball, football,
Yeah,
something like
rip
that.
basketball.
Yeah. Alrighty, so I think yeah, that should wrap up those general questions I had for you guys. So on to the conversation questions. So since the topic is about cubing in the future, like this things that are going to happen in the future in cubing in terms of that. So I have some questions that I prepared. So the first one I have is about the Shangzhou Clock. So since it was released for pre-order on the Cubicle I saw, do you guys think that other companies will try to match that and compete with those and trying to produce more clocks, just like Shangzhou did?
Uh,
Uh,
Wait.
okay,
Do you want to go,
David, go
Carson?
first. Go first.
Okay. Well, I feel like I'm gonna get roasted in the comments. I feel like, but uh, I feel like the angstrom clock is already like really good. If you set it up properly and you do enough solves, it's really good. Uh, so I feel like it's hard to make like drastic improvements with clock, and like Chi already fall or like teased that they're gonna make another clock, and it didn't really look that good. So it's kind of hard to say like how good these clocks will be if companies produce them.
So I think like so I'm not like a big clock person. Like everyone knows my DNFs in clock and how stupid they are, but I definitely see companies trying to compete with each other. But the Shengshou clock, I feel like it could like get some people meaning the Shengshou clock, but honestly, the other clocks are like just I don't know really how to describe it. Like they're kind of like the only clocks out there and like revolutionizing clock, I guess. Like for example, Squan. Like we only have like two good Squans out there, the YLM and the Volt V2. So I feel like clock is somewhat like that, except it's like two clocks, like the Ling Out and maybe the Angstrom clock.
Yeah, like there's a lot of improvement for that, and especially like right now I'm looking on the Cubicle, it's only $10 for the Shangzhou Clock, which is pretty inexpensive
Yeah,
for
like
yeah
Carson
that
said, it could definitely get some people into clock and get them more interested because I'm pretty sure it's magnetic, right?
yeah it is.
Yeah, so that could definitely be like a entry level clock to for some people.
Yeah,
I
like
could.
personally for me, oh Carson, you can go.
Oh, you could go first.
Oh, all right. So I use a non-magnetic Lingao, and I just got a $20 gift card from the Cubicle, and I'm thinking about getting this clock too. So I'll probably it'll probably become my main because it's my first magnetic clock. Like, because I know a lot of them you have to um like the magnetic Lingaos you have to get it from. I think David, do you have a magnetic Lingao?
Yeah, but it's kind of broken.
Because you put water inside of it.
Yeah, it's kind
Oh,
of it has internal damage, I guess you could say. It has a bunch of water in it.
but like, did you have to get it from like another store or something? It's hard to search for them.
Yeah, I got it from the Corner Cutter podcast. Uh,
Oh yeah, yeah. I watch his podcast too, or listen to it.
yeah, his
Yeah,
clocks are
so
pretty good though.
yeah, I guess it's hard to find clocks like that, but with Shangshao now mass producing it, I think it's gonna really, like bring clock to become a little bit more popular. But yeah, Carson, what did you have to say before? Sorry.
I can see like Yushin making a clock because like a lot of Yushin's cubes are quite cheap, and I feel like Yushin wants to make more budget cubes, and maybe they could make a clock. I see like Yushin usually when brands come out with expensive cubes, Yushin comes out with like cheaper cubes, so then people could like find more affordable cubes, and I feel like they're probably gonna make a clock to compete, and clock is probably gonna change. I feel like it's kind of not gonna be like a square one thing anymore, but currently it is like a square one type of thing. Like there's not a lot of brands to choose from.
Yeah, I agree with that definitely. Yeah, Yushin could make something. Who knows? But yeah. So yeah, thanks for sharing your thoughts about the clocks. So another question I have is, what are your thoughts on some of the newer flagship cubes? I mean, budget cubes. Like, I don't know if you can consider them budget, but like the Meilong M, RS3 M 2020, like those sort of cubes, like cubes, like the RS3 M 2020. I personally got it. It's really really good. It has the dual adjustment system, and yeah, what are your guys' thoughts about those? And yeah, that's
So I personally have the RS3M non 20, like the 2019 version, and it's quite good. But I don't have the RS3M 2020. But I feel like since a lot of brands are coming out with budget cubes, like mostly Moyu, um, they're gonna revolutionize the cubing community, and I feel like Gan is kind of gonna turn like Diane and slowly die. Um, but yeah, I feel like budget cubes are definitely gonna take over the cubing community.
Kind of like what Carson said, budget cubes are kind of good because it brings more people into the sport and kind of opens it up to a wider variety of people. And uh, we could also get better competitions with more people cubing
yeah, especially
and
with
more
yeah.
for
Oh
our
wait, David's
diversity.
audio cut out a little bit.
Uh, I think I was done. It's fine.
So
Or
usually
your
in
audio is cutting out a
competitions,
little
like
bit.
mine.
Wait, no, it was David's a little bit. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh,
Is it still cutting out or no?
No, it's fine now.
Okay, good.
okay. So usually at competitions, I feel like I see a lot of people using like cheap cubes, but then I see a lot of kids who feel like they're forced to use like GAN cubes and expensive cubes. And sometimes I do feel like that, but the only reason why I used to use GAN cubes a lot was because they felt good for me, but I feel like the big problem is that they die really quickly, and I feel like a lot of kids are forced to use like expensive cubes, like I just said. But I feel like once like a lot of budget cubes come out, like they're not really gonna feel forced to. So yeah.
Yeah, so I think like for me personally, it's hard for me to find a cube that suits my turning style and like my needs for cubing at least. So I've been using like the WRM and since I believe September of 2019. And then before that was the MF3RS2M I used since New Jersey Championships or Northeast Championships 2018. So I find that like a lot of cube manufacturers, like you don't always need to get the newest flagship cube out there, the most expensive one. Like personally, I haven't gotten a GAN cube since the GAN 354M, like that one back in like 2018 or something. So I
Oh,
think that you can definitely get by with like these budget cubes or something like that. Like the RS3M is really really good so far.
so what I think is like, so I used to like, I'm like similar to you. I have like a similar story. I made a lot of cubes for like a while. Though I used to be like a big GAN boy, and I probably still somewhat am. But like, I made cubes for like months and months and months. And I feel like the thing like since like I made GAN cubes, they died really quickly. So I feel like it's like budget cubes can stay for a while, and I feel like you should get cubes at a reasonable price. And you don't necessarily need to get cubes like every single month or every single week. I feel like you can like just like have a cube for like 9 months and it'll still work for you. So yeah, that's my thoughts are.
Yeah, I agree with Carson. I definitely felt kind of obligated to like use GAN cubes. But then when it came back to cubing, June last year, I kind of got the WRM, and it's been really good and it hasn't died, and I've used it for over a year, so it's really good, and it's like half the price of a GAN cube.
Yeah. So, yeah, both great points about that. So the next question I had is if you had to choose one cube manufacturer to buy from for the next like 1 to 2 years or so, which one would it be?
David.
Uh, Probably Moyu. Basically all my mains are Moyu.
I would also choose Moyu because Moyu cubes are like kind of even. Sometimes they're bad, but most of them they're good. Like a lot of my mains are Moyu, like 2 through 5 is Moyu, and then my 6 and 7 aren't Moyu. But I probably like I'm not sure if Moyu even has a 6 or 7. They probably do, but I'll probably get that. Yeah. So yeah, Moyu has a lot of good cubes, but yeah, it's like even because GAN has really good cubes, but they also suck sometimes.
Yeah, I would also personally choose Moyu, I guess. But at the same time, I would sort of choose maybe like for bigger cubes, maybe Chi Yi or something
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
because I feel like Moyu isn't as good as at producing bigger cubes. I feel like um I don't know because Chi is also a really good competitor because they have all the budget line, the MS line, and all that like producing all those cubes. I'm trying to look at my collection right now too, but they have like the Spark M, they have the Shadow, the Valk. I think, or yeah, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think like those cubes in general are just some. So maybe Chi is another contender. I don't know, but
yeah.
both Moyu and Chi are pretty strong.
I think Chi definitely um can compete with Moyu like for the bigger cubes because, for example, my 5x5, I made the Outron GTS-M, and the layers kind of like stick together, and that's not like a really good feature, but I feel like Chi doesn't really have that for like their big cubes. But I personally don't do 6 and 7 often, and yeah, so I can't really like go through that, but I definitely think Chi can compete with Moyu.
Yeah. All right. So, the next question I have is, what are you guys' thoughts on Worlds and the Continental Championships being like held in the next year or two? like those things. Do you think coronavirus and this pandemic has disrupted the Cuban community? Like, what are your guys' thoughts on the competitions being held farther back?
So I think world championship like Netherlands is a wait, hold up. Sorry, that was my dad. I'll tell him later, but um I feel like Worlds is not like it's like I feel like they could be doing it in a different place. I'm not sure like Netherlands would be amazing, but I'm quite confused because it says like Netherlands and Russia, so yeah, I'm quite confused.
It's either or. I'm kind of hoping it's in Netherlands though, because that would be a cool area to have worlds in. Uh, but I feel like worlds should probably be in Asia one year, or I kind of hoped it would be in Asia this year or in 2022. Because it's been in Europe a lot. So
Yeah, I agree with that. And about North American championships, what are you guys' thoughts about that? Like being rescheduled? Were you guys both going to be attending that?
Yeah, and I'm
yeah,
quite sad, but like it's good that they're sticking to that place because or else they would waste the location that they already like rented.
Yeah, because a lot of people, that'd be like for some people, like especially me, and like a lot of people I know, that'd be like their first, I guess, competition out of the U.S. maybe,
yes,
and
yeah.
it'd just be a good experience, I'd say. So I guess that's all the questions I prepared for you guys. But was there anything else you'd like to mention about the topic about this podcast that you had in mind?
Uh, Not really, but I definitely agree with David. Like we've had too many worlds at Europe and like European Championship. Like, come on, it's like too much. Feel like maybe, and also for like Asian Championship, it's like really close to Europe. So all their locations are really close to Europe, except like NA champs. So I feel like they should definitely like stop using Europe. Like Europe has gotten a lot. I feel like maybe the US could have a world championship like one time, and I feel like it would get a lot of people going there. Um, and then for Asian championship, it's like I feel like they should probably like do it somewhere maybe in like have they already had like an Asian championship in Japan?
I don't
Uh,
know. I don't follow
I'm
Asian
not sure.
championships.
But like if they haven't, they probably should somewhere around that. But I kind of understand if they run out of locations. But NA champs quite reasonable in Toronto.
Yeah. So also you said that like Worlds hasn't been in America. I think in 2013 it was in Vegas, but that was
Yeah,
a while ago.
yeah,
Yeah, but I kind of like feel like since America's a big country, there's like a lot of venues to choose from, and maybe they could probably do like world somewhere else if like not in America, like maybe Canada, then just like switch North American championships to somewhere else. But Canada would actually be a nice place for worlds. I think so.
Yeah.
Maybe like I'm not sure, but um yeah, like Vegas had worlds, but I feel like there's definitely like more places that they could do worlds in America since America's a pretty big country.
Yeah, I agree with that. So, yeah, thank you both for sharing your thoughts about this. That's I guess we're about to approach the 30-minute mark, so I guess we can start wrapping this up a little bit. But before we exit and wrap this up, is there anything you guys would like to plug, like your social media or any website, any resource, anything in general that I can put in the show notes?
Um, follow my Instagram at bobacuber and subscribe to my YouTube channel Rubik Squared.
You can subscribe to my YouTube channel at David's Dude,
Channels.
and my Instagram DS Cubes.
What about your other YouTube
No.
channel, your Fortnite channel that you just created yesterday?
Oh my.
Yeah,
All right.
David created a YouTube channel.
Okay, I think I'll try to put that in the show notes, I guess.
Not the Fortnite channel, please.
Not the Fortnite channel. Okay. All right, so thank you both for coming on the show today. I really appreciated you guys coming on.
Thanks
All
for
right,
having us
thanks.
again.
Thanks for having us.
Alrighty, once again, I would like to thank David and Carson for both coming on the show today. Episode 8. I actually can't believe we have come this far. But yeah, like I said in last episode, we're going to be capping off this season, sorta, at episode 10. And basically, at episode 10, we're going to try to do a game show sort of thing, like a Jeopardy maybe. And I'm going to bring on maybe about five of the guests that have already been on the show. And we're going to have a really cool game. And yeah, and next week, also for the Cube Stuff Saturdays podcast, it might be a little bit difficult for me to find the guest, so I might have to skip next week, and the week after that will be of the next episode, episode 9 of the podcast, because we're having some difficulties bringing on the next guest, and he isn't available at next week. So yeah, that's all I have for you guys for this episode. Thank you so much for listening to this episode, Cubing in the Future, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace out.